As your leader, as your Prime Minister, I have done my level best each and every single day to help build a country that stays worthy of all Canadians.
Canada has always been seen as a global powerhouse with a stable democracy, strong economy, and enviable quality of life. But recently, it has become the unlikely focus of bold, even bizarre proposals. First, Donald Trump joked about Canada becoming the 51st state. Now, The Economist suggests Canada should join the European Union. What's going on? Is Canada really being treated as a geopolitical football? And what does this mean for its sovereignty and future? Let's break it down. Segment 1: The Provocations. Donald Trump's comments about Canada as the 51st state came during a lighthearted moment with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. It was a joke, but one with undertones that sparked debate. Around the same time, The Economist proposed an even wilder idea: Canada joining the European Union. But here's the catch: neither suggestion is realistic. Trump's comments were meant to provoke, and The Economist's article was more of a thought experiment than a serious policy proposal. Still, these ideas hit a nerve because they highlight an unsettling truth: Canada's geopolitical vulnerabilities are becoming impossible to ignore. Segment 2: Canada's economic struggles. Under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Canada's economy has faced mounting challenges. Growth is sluggish, with GDP projected to increase by only 1.7% in 2025. Household debt is at record levels. Immigration policies, while bold, have strained housing and healthcare systems. Critics point to Trudeau's government overspending, leading to a national debt surpassing $1 trillion. Meanwhile, policies like the carbon tax have been divisive, burdening middle-class Canadians already struggling with rising costs of living. Canada's economic dependence on the U.S. also makes it vulnerable. Over 75% of Canada's exports go to its southern neighbor. This dependency leaves it exposed to Trump-like threats of tariffs or economic disruption, a recurring nightmare for Canadian policymakers. Segment 3: Why the EU won't save Canada. Let's address The Economist's EU suggestion. On paper, EU membership might sound attractive: diversified trade opportunities, reduced dependence on U.S. policies. But the reality is far messier. Canada isn't geographically European, and EU rules explicitly reject non-European countries. Membership would force Canada to adopt the euro, surrendering control over its currency. Canada's strong trade ties with the U.S. under CUSMA would clash with EU regulations. In short, joining the EU would undermine Canada's economic independence, not strengthen it. Segment 4: How Canada got here. So, why is Canada seen as vulnerable? Politically, Trudeau's leadership is under fire, with polls showing declining support and rumors of his potential resignation. Economically, Canada struggles to balance progressive policies with sustainable growth. Geopolitically, its over-reliance on U.S. trade and security limits its diplomatic leverage. All of this creates the perception that Canada's sovereignty is up for grabs, a narrative that Trump and others exploit for their own agendas. Segment 5: Trudeau's loss is Poilievre's gain. Justin Trudeau's leadership is under fire, with over half of his MPs urging him to step down. His party's support has plummeted to just 16%, and 57% of Canadians think it's time for him to quit. Economic struggles, rising inflation, and a housing crisis have Canadians disapproving of Trudeau's performance at record levels. Meanwhile, the Conservative Party, led by Pierre Poilievre, is surging ahead with 45% voter support, nearly 4 times the Liberals. As Canada faces a potential early election, Poilievre's Conservatives are poised to take the lead, dominating on key issues like jobs, taxes, and crime. Conclusion: the takeaway? Canada is not a nation up for grabs. It remains a global player with significant strengths, but it's clear the country faces serious challenges that require bold leadership and smart policy reforms. As Canada navigates these turbulent waters, the bigger question isn't whether it joins the U.S. or the EU. It's whether Canada can reclaim control of its narrative, its economy, and its sovereignty. What do you think? Is Canada truly at risk of losing its independence? Or is this all overblown rhetoric? Let us know in the comments.